We are rectifying the great failure of our show to this point. We've not yet had Spencer Hall on, and here he is from Banner Society and, of course, the world-famous Shutdown Fullcast. Spencer, I ask this in sincerity because we've not visited in far too long. How are you?
Oh, listen, I couldn't be better. My team, the Florida Gators, plays LSU on Saturday, and remember, even if you end up being the main dish, it still tastes good. So I could not be a happier human being at this point. Yeah,
they'll batter you up and deep fry and put some Creole butter on there, and it'll be good. It'll be good. Let's talk about LSU. Let's start right there. It used to be that offense got a first down and you'd get the four-corner salute. It was worthy of such triumphant celebration. Now they score about 55 a game. What do you make of that LSU offense?
They've completely changed the way they do things, opened up the passing game, and doing a lot of basic things out of, a spread that allow all of those, extremely fast swamp monsters from Louisiana to get into situations where you're not going to be able to cover them, right? They do a lot of simple things, and they do them really well. I wrote about this week, but they put people on linebackers who can't be covered by linebackers. They send short routes when you are playing off them. If you're playing up on them, they go deep. Yep. And they let Joe Burrow look at the defense the entire time, right? Before, they were asking him to do things that coming out of high school he wasn't exactly familiar with. And I think giving up that fight and turning him into this passer, this player, I mean, the numbers do not lie. Dude's hanging around an 80% completion percentage on the year, and that's without throwing a whole lot of easy horizontal stuff, right? He's making reads, he's hitting open guys. Now, admittedly, he's doing that against some pretty soft defenses. Everyone is, by the way, coming out of September, right? That's not Joe Burrow's fault. That's not LSU's fault. But that's going to be a different animal against Florida.
I agree, and that's clearly the best defense he's faced, and I ask you to do the impossible as a college football fan, and that's divorce yourself from emotion and handicap what chance you think the Gators have to make this a four-quarter game.
It's a coin flip. It's LSU, Florida, because Florida, on the other hand, appears to be a defensive juggernaut. But look at who they faced, right? It's a big win over Auburn.
It
was against Bo Nix, who looked great. And he's a freshman.
Yep.
And they won against Miami in a close game against Jaron Williams, who is a first-year starter, right, at Miami. And then played 2 games of little consequence in the remaining part of the schedule. There really isn't a whole lot to say that they've been tested either. So let's see, standard LSU Florida menu. We've got fake punt, right? You got to call it fake punt.
Yep.
Fake field goals also on the menu. You've got a bunch of sort of casual turnovers. Kyle Trask has been good for a couple of those in a game because, hey, it's the first time he's been starting since high school, so his pocket awareness isn't exactly up to speed. And also, Joe Burrow is going to be facing a very different secondary and a very different defensive line than what he faced in, say, Georgia Southern or even Texas, by the way. Go look at Texas's passing defense and hold your nose when you do it. It's bad right now.
The big picture, I think, is more fun. It is October, and you and I are having this conversation off air, that there's more hope in October than there will be in November, just by virtue of you get knocked off the pedestal, so to speak. But right now, I feel like we've got a wider lens. We've got more teams that we're reasonably considering to be contestants come January. What's your sense of who the best team is in America right now, Spencer?
Well, I mean, taking a flyer on Alabama, the upstart program from Tuscaloosa, always feels, it's a risk.
Yeah, those plucky
but Scott,
underdogs.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah, just putting that out there that like they're really like one of these days they're going to break through. Yeah. And brother, when they do, I'll be there with all the right points just coming to me. So I mean, that's a good pick because Tua Tagovailoa, speaking of picks, that's a transition. He doesn't have any. They don't turn the ball over. They're basically perfect, and they have 3 receivers who are all interchangeably lethal. So yeah, take them, take Georgia, because Georgia's like the most boring, exceptional team that you'll ever see. Right? They let Jake Fromm throw about 4 interesting passes a game. They're all perfect. But the rest of the time, they just rely on their defense to sort of corral people and only take as many points as they need. Ohio State, like they did something extraordinary against Michigan State because I was watching that and thinking the whole time, oh, they're doing a really good job on Justin Fields here. They're really limiting what he can do and challenging him. And I looked up and there were 27 points on the board anyway. That's astonishing, especially for a first-year starter. So this is the point in the season, October, where I think in the sort of the Game of Thrones arc of the season, this is where all the characters that you really like are still alive, right? Flawed though they may be, right?
Sure.
That'll change. That'll change once November comes. But right now it's October, and let's just keep it positive.
I'm with you. The fire-breathing dragons will arrive soon enough. I do want to ask one question about the idea of Fields at Ohio State and Hurts at Oklahoma. We have transfer quarterbacks from high-profile programs that go to high-profile programs, and OU and Ohio State. Of those two, if you had to pick one that you really think has a great chance to be left standing late, one of the four, maybe one of the two, who would it be?
I'm going to go with Justin Fields just because I think he's a better passer. That's it. And also, I think Oklahoma's defense still needs a full sort of season's testing before I'm going to trust them completely. Whereas Ohio State, not without their flaws, mind you, I just think they're a little bit further ahead, right? Like, who else is going to challenge them in the Big Ten, right? I can point to challenges for OU, right? They face a big random one, right? Like, that's a theme for this coming weekend, are big random outcomes between big kind of random teams. Flip a coin for LSU and Florida, right? Flip a coin in the Red River rivalry, because that game can go all kinds of sideways without any warning, regardless of what the records or expectations are.
We agree, as we often do. More than anything, it's just fun to talk some ball. And in October, we will allow hope to permeate. And then come November, death and despair and all sorts of famine and pestilence and all that stuff arrives. Until then, we'll celebrate college football. Spencer Hall, Banner Society, shut down Fullcast. Be well, sir.
All right, same to you.
What's up? Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. Don't forget to download the ESPN app, and if you want more premium content, which you do, make sure that you subscribe to ESPN+. See you soon.